Hey everyone, welcome to Lifting His Name podcast, where four friends on different journeys with Jesus come together and discuss real life and where we can just glorify God. Enjoy.
The other thing of it is going to new things like small groups and stuff, setting boundaries for yourself. I was the worst about this. It's going to places I know is going to be life-sucking, knowing the next day I needed to be full and present for something else, and not setting boundaries and letting myself just be expended at places I know I didn't have to be at. So just saying, all right, I will go and I'll commit to 90 minutes. I'll commit to 60 minutes, and then I'm going. I'm leaving. So if it runs long, and I admire people so much who are so self-aware, who will be like, hey guys, I gotta go. We'll see you. Like in the middle of a discussion in a small group, they're like, hey guys, I told myself I'd give myself an hour. I'm not going to just let this go off the rails. Well, they don't say that, but like, hey, I gotta go. We'll see you.
But that's what they're thinking. They're like, I'm standing on this.
Yes.
So back when I did therapy, it's exactly what my therapist, she's like, you gotta give yourself 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Set a timer
and
on your watch, and you feel it or hear it go off, and when that's up, drop it.
See ya.
Out you go.
Irish exit or whatever it is.
Yes. Or what we always Houdini.
Irish
like you
Houdini.
just leave it.
My husband Houdini's.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he's not going to sit around and be like, good night. I'm leaving.
Nice
Good night to you.
He just
and this is mainly at our house. He doesn't Houdini and leave anybody. But like, we're at our house and she's still there, which she barely counts anymore.
I don't count.
He just can he'll just go to bed. He doesn't have to go through this charade, but he'll do it like with my family when we're traveling, holidays, Christmas, and the in-laws and all that.
Yeah.
He's like, his family is not like super huggy and affectionate and let me say goodbye. My family is like, we'll have a 45-minute goodbye.
I was about to say, could you imagine our family?
The southern goodbye where you start in the kitchen
Yes.
and then you get to the door and then you're standing by the car and he can't handle that and he'll just be like, good night, and he'll just he'll walk out.
Yeah.
He'll
each time we go to someone new to say goodbye, it turns into a 15 to 20 minute conversation.
Right.
So goodbye is an hour long.
Right. And so Michael will just walk out of the room and he'll just go upstairs and go to bed. And then it's like, we'll be like, where did he go? Oh, he went to Houdini. He went to bed.
Now we call it though. As soon as he gets up out of a chair, we're like, Houdini. And he goes.
And a lot of times he's like,
look, I respect that so much. Being so self-aware to know, all right, my batteries are running low and I'm not going to drain myself knowing I've got to be present for something later.
Right.
Yeah.
To tie this back to scripture, Psalm 16 says, the boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. So this is the image of like a sheep pen, or like a place of containment. A lot of times we think of boundaries as negative things instead of places of safety and freedom. Yeah. You can go anywhere inside the boundary lines, anywhere inside the boundary gate you want, operate, have freedom in that. And I think we have to remember boundary lines are a gift from the Lord to us. Now, here's the other thing about boundary lines. I've come to learn and experience. They can expand and contract in different seasons. Some seasons the Lord says, let's extend those boundary lines a little bit. Let's experience a little bit of more, for one, what could be later. And then we're going to contract those back in to refine some more. And then let those expand even more. And it may be a season of just kind of like constant contracting, expanding. And so the Lord allows us greater measures of freedom depending on what we can be entrusted with. To bring that back in as well. And sometimes these seasons of contracting, the Lord wants to spend more intentional time with us and not let us roam around to have to do other things and be a part of other things so that he can intentionally cultivate us and prepare us for what is next when that expanding comes. And it's this time of the Lord, the shepherd, the good shepherd, helping us get familiar with what he offers us. And
in a way, could you view that as as the boundaries kind of coming in and constraining a little bit? I'm going to keep hitting that thing. Constraining a little bit is the time to really focus on him and dwell in him so that when they are widened and you have more room to kind of go and do, you're still solid because he is built that time with you. So he's like, all right, you know what? Take a minute.
Yeah.
Go stretch your legs and then we'll come back later.
Got you. Focus with me here. Right. And then it's...
But so that when the boundaries are bigger and you have more of that freedom, you're far more confident. He and you are far more confident in your relationship that there's not a big stress of you're going to try and go outside of the boundaries. No, because you're we're good. You had time with me. Like, I constrained you to be
Yeah.
focused on me.
Maybe you could go, but you don't want to.
But you don't want to.
It's like, it's
1000%
just
don't want
like
to.
Peter said, where else will we go?
I started
Where
outside
else
the
would I go?
boundaries, you know? I don't want
Yeah.
to go back.
Right
I don't want to go
what's
back
out
there at all.
Well, and that's the other thing too. It's not God's moral boundaries don't shift.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
those are
Those don't.
stationary. You know. You
I
got-
mean, the boundaries
but-
set by our relationship. Like, I was outside of those boundaries. Like, I
Yeah.
was not seeking. I was not turning.
yeah.
I was to some degree turning to him, but I wasn't thirsting for him. I wasn't desiring. I wasn't in the sense of understanding, I guess is the
Yeah.
best way to put it. So
living
those,
for him.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I was jumping everywhere trying to find that happiness, fulfillment, whatever. And then when finding him, it was like, then you feel the relationship boundary, so to speak, but I wanted to be in that. And I'm like, don't let me out of those again. I don't have any desire.
And there's
to
a
go.
book we should all read, and any listener should read. It's called Psalm 23 Through the Eyes of a Shepherd, written by Philip
You've
Keller.
talked about him before.
I think I've
Yeah,
mentioned
you've
that
mentioned
before.
it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like it. Oh man, the sheep analogy when Jesus calls a sheep. It's so good. It's so good. Like there's
Yeah.
the perfect. Oh man, there's no better animal in the the kingdom of animals, whatever it is, animal kingdom. That
I knew what you meant. Sorry. You got there. I'm glad you got there.
yeah, sorry.
No.
That would better describe humans
Yeah.
than sheep,
Than
just based
sheep.
on what they're like prone to do. Like they're just
I mean, if you think about it, it's used in a lot of ways. We used to call ourselves the black sheep of the family.
man.
And then there's like the blind sheep that just follow along with whatever's.
I just picture
Grabbed
that
them,
video
and that's
of
referring to
the shepherd
politics.
getting the sheep out of that like ditch, and the sheep and it says like
Runs
Jesus,
right
and
back
it jumps
in.
like Jesus saving me, and then it's like
Yeah,
and he
right
falls
back
right
in.
back in like 10 feet up. It's like
Literally.
it's like
Yeah, it is.
That was me before the boundaries.
yeah, that's like
Literally.
you're like trying to like keep you safe. My friend Ralphie and I in high school, we used to joke that there's like our guardian angel was exhausted
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
probably like, okay, here, stay within
Oh.
here, and we're like, "Wee!" and he's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
hold on, come back. Like, I'm sorry.
It's so cute. I don't know what kind of animal you see. It's like if you just grab this little baby animal and it keeps trying to jump out of your hands,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
just try those.
Yep,
What are you doing?
it's so true.
I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah.
My friend went to Iceland one time. He was telling me that they were like went on a tour. Like I don't remember, it was some kind of tour. They talked about sheep and shepherds and whatever. And they said in the winter times, the colder season, the shepherds will have to go collect all the sheep and make sure, like one by one, that they're all in the pen. Because what will happen is sheep will find a ditch and they'll fall in it. They'll get stuck. And when the snow falls, they'd rather just die than try to find a way out. And so the shepherds, I know, it's like so sad.
That's just been, oh,
So,
do that.
but again,
get out of the ditch.
but a lot of times it's the same thing for us. Like we'd rather
I
find a
do,
ditch,
yeah.
go in the ditch, let
And
the
give
snow
up.
just cover us, freeze and just die, and just be prone in
Again,
our.
Jared, you're talking to me, and we are saying yes to this.
I'm like,
this one's like, no.
I'm like
I'm
picturing
You're the
all I
happy
picture in
sheep,
my head
like,
is
"Oh,
a sheep's like,
help me."
like trying to get out of
Flailing
it.
around.
You guys are like, it's cozy in here.
It's fine.
And I'm
There's no people
It's
here.
fine. We'll just,
like, get me out of the ditch.
this is how it ends.
Okay, God, it's your will. Okay.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny how different brains are. I don't know.
Listen, this is why this is great because there's so many that can relate to different aspects
Yes.
of this.
for
I
sure.
just, I'm Jared. We're the same person. We kind of always have been. Like, I think that's why we've always just
This is
been
true.
closer, other than our age. But
Okay, we're not that far in age.
no, I'm
You're-
saying like because we were closer in age.
Oh,
It was-
because we were. Yes.
Because
Yes.
it was Emily, Megan, and then me, and then
Uh-huh.
or Megan, Emily, then me.
We had a very tight knit family that I spent
Yes.
a ton of time together.
Yes.
Yeah, still does,
BTW.
which is great.
Got together every month at least when
Yeah,
we were kids.
which
and then we went on
we
vacations
found out
together.
as we got older was rare because I'd always
Yeah,
talk
I didn't
about
know that was
in
rare.
college.
People
were
were like, "You're close with your cousins."
cousins?
I'm
Yeah.
like, "They're like my siblings.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Is that not normal?" Then I find out there were like other cousins in my high school that never spoke to each other. And
yeah.
I'm like,
that's weird. What's wrong with you?
"What?"
Yeah, that's for me. It doesn't make sense when you're local because when I
Uh-huh.
grew up, I didn't have any cousins
Yeah.
there. My parents moved away from their families, and so I didn't have any cousins close. So I was like,
Boo.
yeah, Well, it's
I
yeah,
don't know. But
so
that's- it's actually
for me. It was like a
normal.
reason. You know, it's like, oh
Yeah.
well, yeah, because I was in Colorado and they're in
But
Georgia.
even the sense that we have that once a year family reunion, I'm like, dude, I'm kind of close to my second cousin.
Yeah,
Me too.
right.
We
See, now-
get with them.
The Texas side, we did that.
Yeah. So I'm like,
And that's like every 3 years.
I
they
mean, we
throw
went
down
to
those
weddings of
crazy
theirs and
whites.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in their weddings.
Right.
It's
They still do
I said-
Christmas
yeah.
cards, you know?
Yeah.
They have like a
We're
directory.
still kept up on their lives,
Yeah.
even though our reunions have halted a little bit. But anyway, but we are so much more similar looking back than we even realized in the moment, I think, of just that.
Yeah.
We, even at our family gatherings, literally in this house, we'd be back there at the window seat just
We'll
kind of
find a
watching.
corner. Yeah.
We'd find a corner and we'd talk, and we're just sitting there watching everybody that's all hyper and in the spotlight. And I'm
People.
like, how do y'all do
I
that?
always admired it, and I always had just kind of like a, it was like it wasn't like a jealousy, but it was just kind of like, just like a.
There's a little bit envy.
Yeah, a little
Of like
bit envy.
wishing
like,
I could put myself out there like that, but it was
be
just
that comfortable in my skin
Yeah.
and be that witty and funny, and instead of like contemplative and I think people would say the same thing about like maybe us.
Yeah.
You know, like, wow, I wish I had, that ability to think that deeply or study or dedicate, whatever it is. And
Your mama said that to me. Actually, this past weekend, we were at the lake house.
oh yeah, I hope that was fun.
It was fun. And she was talking about how our generation and how we are so much more knowledgeable in the word and deeper things because it's kind of just come to us sooner. We've had more sources of like resources and her thirst versus her thirst. And at Dawn and then we're talking about it coming in later in life, but how we've gotten it earlier. But also just the fact that like you and I are very big in the research and the theology of things. And as y'all saw in the beginning, my brain will go down a spiral of thinking. And just it enlivens this thirst and this desire to just understand and know as much as humanly possible in the word. Yeah. But I'm one of those that I'm like, I don't trust nobody's words. I'm going to be in the word and trust on the Spirit.
Is authenticity.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Just because you're a preacher does not mean you're speaking truth. Like,
Exactly.
I think this generation has seen that more than any other generation. Used to is like, well, he was ordained by God because he's a preacher. He's up on stage. And man, that is a lie. Again, the enemy is crafty, not creative. And so, I think our generation has said, now, wait a minute, what is true? Like, just because they said that does not mean, just because they have a degree and some letters behind their name does not mean they're speaking truth.
Yeah.
They can be manipulative. They can be self-motivating, self-ambitious. They can be whatever these things are. It's contrary to the Word of God. They can be projecting their own opinion about theology, their interpretation of Scripture, their fundamentalism, whatever it is. And that does not mean it's true just because they're saying it. And I think...
Sorry, keep going.
No. That's it.
Well, no, I was just agreeing with you. I think too, because of the time that we're like our era we've seen the downfall of more spiritual leaders. It was probably
exposed more.
Yeah, it's exposed more than our parents' generation of if somebody did
still happened just as much.
Still happened for sure back then. Yeah, but it's like I can personally speak to both churches that I grew up in, the two that I would name as like where I was the most, had two major pastoral collapse. Yeah. Terrible instances. And it's just like, what? And so you have to go back to, I think we're better to always, it's kind of like back to the millennial where it's like our once in a lifetime event and we're on event like 15.
We're
like,
should I pay my car payment this month or not?
Am I paying my taxes or are they getting rid of that?
Or are we about to go into World War III?
Literally nothing I read gives me overwhelming stress.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, the world's been ending since
like
1999.
Literally, like,
exactly.
I was 10 or 12 or whatever when the world, or I don't know how old I was.
So we just get so much more exposure of it too. It's made us question more,
everything,
which I think is good. You have to be careful though too, because now I feel like we've jumped into
overly
the next.
Cynical,
now we're into the next
skeptical.
where it's and it's into the next era of like we get to like the AI or like they're making stuff up. I've seen sermons where you're like, that's not
even a person.
That's not true, and it's like, it turns out it wasn't even a person. It was just totally made up. And they're making it look like it's like a church and popular. And this guy's saying, and you're like, oh man.
What you just said is like perfectly sums up where my brain is I am overly skeptical now of everything. Not just what I hear being preached sometimes, but also my own thoughts. I am overly skeptical of every thought that comes into my head, and it is debilitating.
Exhausting.
Well, yeah, but it's debilitating. It literally makes me hit a brick wall and go, I can't take a step, which comes back to, I think this was on my Glorify app. I don't know. I was reading about how women tend to allow fear of taking the wrong step to inhibit them from taking a step. And sometimes God just says, take a step.
Yeah.
Just take a step. Just do something without the solidifying, because it shows faith. It's a showing of faith to just take a step.
Yeah.
And my thoughts and my body are debilitating me because my thoughts are, but which step? But which one do I want to go to? But wait, is that mine or is that his? Or is that, I mean, granted, I know.
Right.
Multiple things are just glorifying him and building his kingdom. So I don't think it matters. Like I've kind of said, I can just pick one and take a step.
But you take a step with that same thought process of, I've seen that too, where it's like, there's a verse that you will probably be able to quote that's like,
it's in the Bible.
Yeah, it's in there. And it talks about, like he doesn't bring the path to you. It's like, take your step and then I will lay out the path for you.
That's kind of like I have a plan for every choice you make.
Right. So it's just like step. And so then it's the heart posture of you taking that step. It's like, okay, and we did this with Sophie, remember? And I was like, okay, here it is. We were debating back and forth. Or being told to like induce for labor and all the things. And I really didn't want to, blah, blah, blah. So I made a decision and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And if I'm wrong, you will tell me that I'm wrong. Right. And it was just, that was my heart posture. That was my prayer. And then it was like an immediate, the next 6 conversations I had were like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay. Are you sure though? Are you sure? One more.
Are you sure?
No, I mean, it was so clear that it was just like, okay, I'm wrong. We got to do the other answer. And so you do that with this posture of just, we did it with school. It's like, I'm stepping forward in this. This is, prayerful and it's all the things, right? Again, we're not debating a moral situation. Yeah. It's like, okay, this is the path I'm going to take. And it's like, okay, this is how I feel you're telling me to go, or this is what I feel is the right answer. So I'm stepping in faith this way. And I trust for you to close any doors that I'm not supposed to go through.
That's it. Yeah.
And then you go. And so it's like, start.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you, except like, just take the step. But I know that is the function. That's where it's broken.
That's where it's like, broken. Yeah. That's where it's like, that it's like telling
I don't know.
anyone with ADD or something that says, hey, just go do the dishes. And you're like, yep, I would. I'd love to. They're right there. It'd be so easy. But I cannot physically do the thing. I think of so many reels.
Dysfunction. Like, the dysfunction. I don't know. Do you need how do we body double you making a spiritual step forward? I'll be like, let's do your dishes.
Well, for one, anytime we do this, like I have felt, I will say, like this is one of the barricades that I blast through is like we talked about it before, before getting here and doing this. I feel so much attack of like, I don't think anyone really wants to keep this going. Y'all should just call it quits. And I'm like, ooh, I know that's not.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Hear it now. It's not true.
So while I have that like, frustrated feeling of things just not progressing kind of thing, then we're here and I'm like, yes, we're doing this. There's no way we are stopping this. Yeah.
Even today. You were like, don't worry about it. I was like, no,
we're doing exactly.
I'm doing
like
it.
when one
she's
little
sitting
thing
here and no one's here, and she's like, I guess nobody cares. Nobody wants to do this. This is
well, that's
apart.
how. Yeah, that's how your brain starts beating. And I'm like, and then
I was like, I was 3 minutes late.
If we get behind on editing and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't even know why we care. I don't even know why we're trying. I don't even, I know that is adversary. That is, against God. And so while I don't allow it to win, that's kind of what ends up happening a lot of the time when I want to move forward in something else that's not about this, but it's still for God. And I feel that like, you don't even know how to do that. You don't even know where to start. You don't even know whatever the case may be. And I actually told your mom about this because she called me out about what she sees for me. And I'm like, she's like, I see you being a leader in something. I'm like, oh, people. Immediately. Exactly, I'm like, no. But it comes back to, again, things that we hear a lot now where people are putting out there, hey, the things that you, I don't know how it's worded. Basically, it's the adversary feeding the parts of you that will go against what God needs of you.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, saying that I could be leadership of something, that goes against every bit of my comfort.
At least what God's inviting you to.
Inviting, yes, exactly. Or what you could excel in is the best way to put that.
What the adversary uses against you most is what is going to grow God's kingdom the best, or
something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Use you most for the God's kingdom. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, even for the dishes, like, I think what I'm realizing is I'm like a train where it's really hard for me to like get started on something. Like I'm like, maybe, and it's like chug. I think I can. We've read that book 1,000 times for our kids. Yeah. But then, like once it's going, it's like, man, I'll climb right over that mountain, and it's just fine. Like it will be so hard to stop after I get started. So a lot of my intention is like, do I really want to put in the time this is about to take to do this? Because I know when I start, I'm not going to stop. Like if it's projects at the house, if it's like reading something, if it's like even like, you know, and that's why I like the tension of resting and working is so hard because it's like, man, I don't, you know, do I really want to give myself like permission to like really indulge in resting, and like what is resting? And like I made this comment, and this is maybe a good place to stop and unpack this more later. I think our capacity to love ourselves is in correlation to our capacity to love other people. So when Jesus says, because we're commanded to love ourselves, this is something I was recently exposed to, and I've been kind of like wrestling through this more. We're commanded to love ourselves. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So like we are commanded, and when we are denying loving ourselves, we're denying what the Lord has called good. So when we are in Jesus, his righteousness covers us and he proclaims us good. That sounds heretical, right? That sounds like, whoa. Hang on now. We are not, but Paul says our best acts of righteousness are filthy rags. Like we're not good. But when we are in Christ, we are then infused with Jesus and we receive his righteousness, and therefore we are counted and considered good and worthy of love. And I think that's the number one thing maybe of all people is we don't think we're worthy of love from ourselves. We feel like it's easier to love other people and give them other things while we neglect ourselves and just say, I'm just a scum. I'm not even going to worry about myself. But I think when we're not healthy, we can't really adequately love other people. Case in point, when you're on an airplane, if the mask drop, who do you put air on first? Yeah, yourself. Because why? If you can't breathe, if you're not healthy, if you're not alive, you sure can't help anybody else. And so that's why it goes to self-care. It has to be a priority.
That's like trying to pour from an empty cup situation.
Exactly. You have to love yourself. Like, man, like, gosh, if a pedicure gives your life, go get a pedicure sometimes. Like, take care of yourself sometimes. Do something that's like, this feels good. And that's not to, that's not to say don't spoil yourself 24/7, but it's like have situations where you're like, yes, I can treat myself to this because it's going to give me life and energy. And it's not because because Jesus loves me and Jesus wants good things for me. Like, it's okay to embrace and accept that. It's okay to treat yourself sometime. It's okay to get a nice bottle of wine and just like, man, not indulge, but like, just say, this tastes good. This is good. I'm going to go out to do something fun. I don't know.
I don't know what you extroverts do.
Because I have such a hard time.
I'm going to go. What do we do?
I don't know what is fun. That speaks to like, I always excuse myself from self-care.
That's a funny thing to point out, because I do know, just looking back, when somebody asks, what do you like to do?
Exactly.
I'm like,
I don't know.
Honestly, kind of just go home and be by myself.
Yeah.
But I wonder how much of that is because I never got to delve in to figure out what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because it was always just go with the flow of things. Because as a child, being
until
a baby
you burn
of 4,
out,
being the baby of 4, like, I didn't really have a say in what we were doing and how things were going to go. It it was just go. And even I look back at friendships I had, and I'm like, I just went with the flow. Yeah. So when I got into late, I don't know, honestly, late 20s, it was a, hey, what do you like to do? And I'm like, I don't know, whatever anyone's doing. And then it was starting in my 30s that I started going, I like being alone. Yeah. And even now, though, I'm like, okay, what do I enjoy doing when I'm alone?
Maybe it's reading. Whenever I read, sometimes. It's like, this gives me life.
It's just interesting, though, because I always felt like I needed to be doing something productive if I'm doing anything.
Yes.
Otherwise, it was, oh, I'm having fun. What are we doing? Somebody decide for me what we're going to do for fun.
Tell me what I should do.
I don't want to think anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that has a lot to do.
And I think, to bookend this, I think what you have to do in those moments is you have to plan to have fun. And I hate to even say that. I'm not a planner.
I don't know how to plan fun. That's not fun. No, we're fly by the seat of my pants.
Exactly. That's but what I've learned is when I become reactionary to having fun and resting, it won't happen. It'll be just indulging in things that are not restful. I will just go on like a 2-hour Xbox binge. Where I'm just come out of them just I feel worse than before.
Yeah. That's kind of like scrolling. I feel worse than before. Why did I eat?
Exactly. Instead of planning all right, tomorrow is my day of rest, Sabbath. This is a sidebar too. We'll revisit this. The Hebrew word for rest and celebrate are identical. So you're not just resting, you're celebrating what you've done and celebrating God's goodness and indulging in God's goodness and God's fullness. And God just saying, have fun. It's good to have fun. Have fun. And that's the whole other thing too, is what is fun? We'll talk about it later. Senseless fun, going and I don't know, being excessive is not fun. Excessive indulging in yourself, excessive spending is not good in yourself. When you're going to get a manicure, pedicure, I don't know, shooting range, all the time, that's excessive. And that becomes called coping. That's no longer resting and having fun. That's then coping and escapism and trying to satisfy another longing. That's a whole other thing. We'll revisit that next time.
But so basically, all of this comes back to my skepticism and overthinking. I need to hinder by...
She's like, what's my answer? Yeah. Can you answer the first question?
How do I keep growing and fight back against that skepticism?
I think you fight lies with truth, and it comes back to that. Fighting lies with truth. And it's surrounding yourself, putting yourself in situations to receive truth from Scripture, friends, community. Mm-hmm. It's putting yourself in places where you are less than, where you are no longer significant. A good example is nature. Go on a hike. Oh gosh, yeah. Nature doesn't care about you. You are insignificant. When you go up on Montesano, go to the Burret, go walk some trails, Montesano, you realize how insignificant you are in light of nature. And that's not demoralizing yourself. That's not demeaning yourself. It's realizing, if God is sovereign, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I can trust Him, delight in Him, and have fun in the presence of Jesus.
Yeah. Basically, to anyone else out there that relates to my challenges, you got to take a step. And that's the hardest part, is just, that is overcoming the flesh. Mm-hmm. I have to push past the lazy, distracted,
self-doubt
part of my flesh, the thorn in my side that is me. I have to fight it, battle it, get control of it, wring it out, and step forward. And that's discipline. The hardest part. So I just that's I guess my point is I already knew the answer.
Yeah.
But we needed to
think of it this way. It's like a circle. This is one of my favorite tools. Discipline becomes desire. Desire becomes delight. Yeah. What we discipline ourselves to do becomes what we desire to do. What we desire to do becomes the things that we delight in doing. We no longer have to discipline ourselves to do it. So these healthy rhythms that we set, these healthy rhythms of rest, of fun, of research, studying, delighting in the Lord, it starts with discipline. You don't just wake up and delight in Jesus. It starts with discipline that becomes desire. Ooh, I can't wait to get to do this thing. And then it's just I get to enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah. Push through,
it's weird to think you have to discipline yourself to rest.
Start the discipline probably is where step one is.
Step one is the absolute hardest thing. Sure. Because discipline has always been a weakness.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's where you can tie it back to really small steps.
But
like they do that with like the gym, where it's like, go to the gym. You don't have, like, you're not allowed to stay more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You become in the habit of going and being there,
You
because once you stop going, it's really hard to start going again.
Yep.
And then, but once you go and you're there and you're like, I can't stay more than 5 minutes, and you leave, and people are like, that's ridiculous. But then you
boundaries.
set that into it's like, oh, it's just what you're doing. It's like when I did my mile thing, it was just happening. There was no longer a debate of, was I going to?
Yeah.
Then you get rid of that. And once that's off the table of, am I going to do this or not? It's like, oh, this is happening. Yeah. Then it's like, when am I going to do it? How do I do it? Or like, oh, there's a hurricane. Oh, well, I'm running in the rain. Like, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, this is coming from someone who doesn't have a spicy brain. So,
it's not spicy.
Let me mean it. I'm working on it. It's a struggle. I'm medicated.
I hear you. I know. I hear you. I'm the same way.
Spicy brains are hard to discipline. And I think that is, I guess, my point to relate for a lot of people is, I do know that God knows. And it's been a work to try and discipline what I call a spicy brain that doesn't like discipline, but thrives in discipline.
Yeah, that's right.
But can't
create the idea of it.
Has a really hard time starting it.
Same.
But anyway, it's relatable though for anyone out there that listens and is like, oh my gosh, I know I'm supposed to do this, this, and this to get to that point. It's hard. And I'm like, yes, it's really hard, but we're going to keep trying. And I think that's what is important, is the intent is there and the effort is there, and God will bless that and he will help you. So
absolutely.
Well, I enjoyed this, even though it was like such an AD conversation, which I loved, but
a lot to revisit.
Yeah. We have so many things planned now. We just have to write all these down and schedule out when we're going to do them. But yeah, so thank you guys. So we'll wrap up this one, and Adam will be back with us next week.
Next episode.
Next episode. Yeah, it's not next week. But anyway, and we'll
see you then.
See you then.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Like, follow, subscribe, share.
Yeah, do all the things we need, please. Yeah.